WNBA finals. And so I'll leave it there. I mean, I'm just obviously disheartened. I'm a human too. I have a family. I have 2 kids who are devastated by these comments. And so all I'll say is just, it's obviously.
The morning of December 25, 2025, was supposed to be a quiet one for the world of women's basketball. Families gathered, presents were unwrapped, and the league itself was enjoying a well-earned holiday break. The WNBA had just navigated a season of soaring viewership and intense drama, a period of unprecedented growth and equally unprecedented tension. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert and her staff likely hoped for a moment of peace, but at 10:01 a.m. Eastern Time, that peace was shattered. A digital thunderclap echoed across social media, not from the league, but from its biggest corporate partner, Nike. Without warning, a 30-second commercial titled "From Anywhere" appeared online. It starred the league's most famous player, Caitlin Clark. This was no simple sneaker ad. It was a high-gloss cinematic event. It landed with the force of a surprise album drop, instantly dominating conversations and trending worldwide. For the fans, it was a thrilling Christmas gift, a spectacular celebration of their favorite star. But inside the WNBA's headquarters, the feeling was far from festive. Reports described a state of panic-induced rage. This wasn't a collaboration, it was a declaration. The ad's timing felt deliberate, almost surgical. It arrived during a period meant for rest and recovery, a pause in the relentless news cycle that had followed Clark since she entered the league. The 2025 season had been a roller coaster, marked by record ratings, but also by bitter rivalries, locker room infighting, and uncomfortable debates about race and fairness. The league's leadership was trying to navigate these choppy waters to steady the ship after a stormy year. The From Anywhere commercial was a rogue wave that threatened to capsize their efforts entirely. This wasn't just about a single player or a new shoe. It was a power move that exposed the deep fault lines running through professional women's basketball. It pitted player against player, brand against league, and the new era of individual superstardom against the old guard's collective ethos. As families finished their holiday meals, the league was left to grapple with a crisis. The commercial wasn't just an ad, it was an earthquake. And as the day wore on, the aftershocks were just beginning to be felt across the entire landscape of the sport. For decades, the WNBA has operated under a core philosophy, an unwritten rule that has guided its marketing and its very identity. The league is the star. It has always been about the 144, the limited number of roster spots available, representing the best female basketball players in the world. This collective-first mindset was born out of necessity and principle. In a league fighting for every inch of media coverage and respect, unity was strength. Promoting the entire league rather than just 1 or 2 superstars was seen as the best way to lift everyone up together. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has been a staunch defender of this creed. Her vision for the WNBA is one of a balanced, competitive league where every team has a chance and every player's story matters. The goal was to build a sustainable institution, not a fleeting spectacle centered on a single personality. This approach aimed to create loyal team followings and celebrate the depth of talent across all 12 franchises. It was a strategy designed to ensure the league's long-term health, preventing it from becoming too dependent on any one individual who might one day retire or leave. This philosophy, however, has often been a source of debate. Critics argued that it held the league back, that all major sports are driven by larger-than-life stars. Michael Jordan didn't just lift the Chicago Bulls, he lifted the entire NBA. Tom Brady didn't just sell Patriots tickets, he made the NFL a global phenomenon. These voices suggested that by not elevating its most marketable players, the WNBA was missing a crucial opportunity to break into the mainstream. The league, they said, was playing it safe when it needed to be bold. The arrival of Caitlin Clark in 2024 brought this debate to a boiling point. Her fame was on a different level, forged in the crucible of college basketball's March Madness, where she became a household name. She brought millions of new eyes to the WNBA, but she also presented a challenge to its core identity. The league tried to absorb her fame into its existing framework, to use her light to illuminate all, the 144. But Clark's stardom was a supernova, and the From Anywhere commercial suggested that it could no longer be contained within the WNBA's carefully constructed galaxy. The From Anywhere ad was a masterpiece of modern marketing, and its message was unmistakable. Caitlin Clark is not just a basketball player, she is a cultural icon. The commercial opened on a simple, almost mythic scene. Clark, alone in a snowy driveway, practicing her signature long-range shots. But the simplicity ended there. The production was anything but humble. It had the budget, feel, and polish of a Hollywood movie trailer, a far cry from the typical, more straightforward ad seen in women's sports. What made the ad truly different was its cast and its focus. It was filled with A-list celebrity cameos, hip-hop superstar Travis Scott, NFL's beloved Kelsey brothers, and Saturday Night Live comedian Michael Che all appeared, asking the same question: can you make it from here? The ad didn't just feature basketball figures, it brought in icons from music, football, and comedy, positioning Clark at the center of the entire pop culture universe. Even her college coach Lisa Bluter made an appearance, grounding the spectacle in Clark's authentic journey. The tagline, delivered by Clark herself, was a confident and simple answer: from anywhere. The commercial style was as important as its substance. Set to the defiant anthem "Boys Wanna Be Her" by Peaches, the ad was edgy, cool, and unapologetically centered on a single individual's power. It was all about Caitlin Clark, her brand, her skill, her story. The WNBA itself was practically an afterthought. The league's logo, if present at all, was barely visible, a footnote in a story that Nike was telling about its star. This was not a WNBA ad featuring Caitlin Clark. This was a Caitlin Clark ad, period. This approach felt revolutionary and deeply disruptive. Past WNBA marketing, even when featuring stars, always tied back to the game, the team, and the league. This ad was different. It was about personal branding on a global scale. It showcased Clark not just as an athlete who plays for the Indiana Fever, but as a phenomenon who transcends her team and even her sport. The message was clear: her talent and her appeal cannot be confined to a basketball court. She can make an impact from anywhere. For Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, the From Anywhere commercial was more than just a marketing surprise. It was a direct challenge to her authority and her vision for the league. By producing and releasing the ad without coordinating with the WNBA, Nike had gone rogue. The sneaker giant, a league partner, had acted like an independent agent, prioritizing its own asset, Caitlin Clark, over the collective health of the league it sponsored. It was a power play that left the WNBA looking like a bystander in its own story. The ad completely undermined Engelbert's long-standing "the 144" strategy. Her administration had worked tirelessly to promote the idea that the league was a constellation of stars, not a solar system with a single sun. This commercial argued the exact opposite. It presented a world where Caitlin Clark was the sun, and everyone else, including the WNBA itself, was merely a planet in her orbit. It was a public refutation of the league's core philosophy, broadcast to millions on Christmas morning by one of its most important business partners. The move was seen by many within the league office as a calculated show of force from Nike. It signaled that the brand believed it had the power to shape the narrative of women's basketball on its own terms. Nike wasn't asking for permission to build Clark into a global icon, it was simply doing it. This put Engelbert in an impossible position. She could not publicly condemn the ad without appearing to criticize her biggest star and most powerful sponsor. But staying silent would look like an admission of weakness, a concession that the league no longer controlled its own destiny. This incident exposed the delicate balance of power in modern sports. A league needs its stars, but it also needs to maintain its authority. The From Anywhere ad tilted that balance dramatically. It suggested that a player with enough marketability, backed by a corporate giant like Nike, could become bigger than the institution she plays for. It was a warning shot fired across the bow of the WNBA, making it clear that Nike was prepared to take its star and her story anywhere, with or without the league's blessing. The timing of the From Anywhere commercial was, well, devastatingly effective, and it seemed aimed at more than just the WNBA's leadership. It was a direct hit on the launch of a new player-founded league called Unrivaled. Created by WNBA superstars Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, Unrivaled was a 3-on-3 league designed to provide players with another platform to compete and, crucially, to earn significant income during the WNBA's off-season. Its launch was a major moment, a bold declaration of player empowerment and a potential new chapter for women's basketball. Caitlin Clark had been a central figure in the Unrivaled story even before its launch. The new league's founders had reportedly offered her a massive contract worth over $1 million to be the face of their inaugural season. Clark, however, had turned them down. Citing the need to rest and recover after a grueling second WNBA season filled with injuries, she chose to sit out. Her decision was a blow to Unrivaled, but the league pushed forward, planning its launch campaign around its existing roster of incredible WNBA talent. Then, on Christmas Day, the Nike ad dropped. The cinematic, high-budget celebration of Caitlin Clark completely eclipsed the Unrivaled launch. Within 24 hours, the From Anywhere commercial had amassed 6 times more views online than the entire promotional campaign for the new league. The media, which should have been focused on Stewart and Collier's groundbreaking venture, was instead consumed by the spectacle of the Clark ad. It was a public relations masterstroke by Nike and a crushing blow to the player-led movement. The fallout was immediate. The juxtaposition was impossible to ignore. On one side, you had a group of veteran players trying to build something new for themselves. On the other, you had a single young star, backed by a corporate behemoth, effortlessly stealing the entire spotlight. It made the Unrivaled launch feel small and overshadowed. For many in the WNBA establishment, it felt like a calculated humiliation, a message that no player-led initiative could compete with the marketing machine behind Caitlin Clark. Beyond the strategic power plays, the From Anywhere commercial highlighted a stark and honestly pretty uncomfortable truth about the WNBA, the massive gap between player salaries and endorsement potential. The ad's lavish production value, yeah, it just screamed money. The celebrity cameos, the high-end cinematography, the global reach, it all pointed to a multi-million-dollar investment from Nike. This spectacle of wealth stood in jarring contrast to the financial reality of most players in the league, including Clark herself when it came to her official WNBA paycheck. For the 2025 season, Caitlin Clark's rookie-scale WNBA salary was a modest $78,066. This figure, while a respectable income for the average person, is absolutely dwarfed by the earnings of top male athletes and, more pointedly, by her own endorsement deals. Her partnership with Nike alone is a reported 8-year $28 million contract. Add in deals with Gatorade, State Farm, and others, and her off-court income is exponentially larger than what she earns playing the game. The Nike ad made this disparity painfully public. This financial gap is a sensitive topic within the league. While players celebrate the opportunity for stars like Clark to earn life-changing money, it also makes the WNBA itself appear undervalued. When an ad for a player is visibly more expensive and glamorous than the marketing for the entire league, it sends a powerful message about where the real money and power lie. It suggests that the platform, the WNBA, is less valuable than the individual talent it showcases, a narrative the league has fought hard to avoid. The From Anywhere ad served as a billboard for this financial divide. It was a 30-second reminder that while Caitlin Clark plays in the WNBA, she operates in a completely different economic stratosphere. For fans new to the sport, who were drawn in by the Caitlin Clark effect, this was a shocking revelation. It raised questions about the league's business model and its ability to properly compensate its stars. The ad inadvertently painted a picture of a league that was being propped up by a star who was, financially speaking, too big for it. While the public and media debated the ad's strategic implications, its most immediate impact was felt inside the WNBA's locker rooms. The commercial landed like a grenade, fueling feelings of resentment, jealousy, and unease among players who were already navigating a tense environment. The 2025 season had been rife with talk of rivalries and perceived favoritism, and the From Anywhere ad poured gasoline on that fire. It was seen by many as the ultimate proof that the league and its partners had chosen their favorite. The comparisons were immediate and unavoidable. Players and fans alike pointed to the marketing for other league superstars like 3-time MVP Aja Wilson. Wilson, a dominant force in the league for years, also had a signature shoe and endorsement deals. Yet her ads, while professional, were simpler, more traditional sports commercials. They never reached the cinematic pop culture event scale of Clark's Nike spot. This difference in treatment was impossible to ignore and led to whispers of unfairness and conspiracy. These tensions were compounded by the racial dynamics at play. Clark, a white player, was receiving a level of mainstream marketing and media adoration that many black players, who have been the backbone of the league for decades, felt they had never been offered. The perception grew that Clark was being given a smoother path, a bigger platform, and more resources, not just because of her talent, but because of her race. The Nike ad became Exhibit A in this difficult and emotional debate, a visual representation of the perceived disparity in how players are valued and promoted. The result was a further fracturing of relationships within the league. Teammates became more guarded, and rivalries took on a sharper edge. The sense of a unified 144 players, already strained, felt more fragile than ever. The ad created a clear hierarchy in the public's mind, placing Clark on a pedestal high above everyone else. For the other elite athletes in the WNBA, who had dedicated their lives to the sport, it was a bitter pill to swallow. The whispers in the locker room grew louder. Was this a league for all, or was it becoming the Caitlin Clark show?